Have you ever thought, man, I would really like to actually find some useful information for free here on YouTube that could improve my trading? If the answer to that question is yes, then this video is for you, this channel's for you. Welcome to the trading channel. My name is Steven, your honest trading coach, and today I'm going to be dishing out more value. How am I going to be doing that? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about mastering the RSI Divergence trade. Is RSI Divergence alone the secret to profitable trading? Of course not. But having this skill and being able to add it as a qualification to entries and strategies can dramatically improve the accuracy of those entries and strategies. So without further ado, if mastering the RSI Divergence trade sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and click that subscribe button. We do tutorial videos like this each and every week, most of the time on Friday, and we do a video every single Monday breaking down the top 5 major pairs and talking about trading opportunities. So if you want to be alerted about those, then you already know what to do. Click the notification bell. Go ahead and click that like button for me while the intro and disclaimer roll. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Here we are back on the charts, and what you're looking at on the screen in front of you is a trade I took using RSI Divergence. We're looking at the pound Swiss 4-hour chart. Now this trade had a few other factors that we're also going to be talking about throughout this video, but one of my main reasons for entry was because of the RSI Divergence that was present here on the pound Swiss. And as you can see, this ended up being quite a profitable trade, bringing in over 200 pips on the first target. We're currently waiting to see if we can get some second targets on this trade. So now that you've seen what RSI Divergence trades can produce, let's go ahead and scroll up to a white screen and talk about what RSI Divergence is. Divergence can happen across many different indicators, including the MACD, stochastics, and many more. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about only RSI Divergence. Well, for RSI Divergence, what we'll be looking at is price action, right? We're looking at price action, and price action is creating higher highs and higher lows. We're going to do bearish divergence right now. Well, when markets are creating higher highs and higher lows with price action, and we get something like this on an RSI indicator, let's say this is our RSI indicator, and this is price action. Well, if our RSI indicator comes up, goes into overbought during our first high. So here we have our first high. Let's say that's our overbought condition on our RSI indicator. So on this first high, RSI goes overbought. And then the market creates a new higher high and starts to retrace. When this happens, we look over here and we say, is this high higher than the previous high? If the answer to that question is yes, we look down here on the RSI indicator. And what we look for here is this next high on the RSI indicator lower than the previous high up here? If the answer to that question is yes, then we have what is known as bearish RSI divergence. And I know that may have gotten confusing, so I will quickly draw that out one more time for you guys, and we'll actually use the RSI indicator down here during the second drawing. So let's make this a little bit bigger, and let's draw out some price action. So price action would be coming up, pushing up even higher, and then pushing down. Where is the RSI divergence in this case if the gray line here is price action? Well, we have our high here. We're looking at this really steep slope up to the next high, meaning we do have a higher high in price action. We have our high on the RSI indicator here, and then looking right, we have a lower high on the RSI indicator right here, signifying RSI divergence. And this is known as bearish divergence. The opposite is true for bullish divergence. We would be looking for a market making lower lows and the RSI indicator to be overbought, and then let's say the RSI indicator does something like this. If we had a higher low on the RSI indicator and a lower low on price action, that would be known as bullish divergence. It's a pretty simple concept once you come to grasp it, and it's actually pretty easy to spot in the market. So let's head back down to the pound Swiss. Scrolling down here, see if you can spot the RSI divergence on this chart. It's right here, right? We have a high. That's definitely an upward slope, meaning we have a higher high. If we look on our RSI indicator at this exact point, we have a high. At this exact point, a lower high. So once we see that, we know for a fact that we have completed RSI divergence. And there's traders that actually use this as an entry reason. So they'll have a different set of conditions using trend structure, other indicators, various things. And then if the market creates RSI divergence, that's when they will enter the market. Now that's not exactly what we did here. So what I'm gonna do is break down something else that I like to take a look at after seeing some RSI divergence. But before I do that, I want to show you guys this pound yen trade that we just had that took off to the downside. Ended up making in over 100 pips on this trade in the EAP training program. Let's head over here. As you can see, we have this nice breakout trade right here. I'll post a screenshot of that to the left-hand side of your screen, the analysis we did on this. But here we were also coming out of an RSI divergence situation. We were actually coming out of an overbought condition, pushing down, flagging out here, and then pushing down even further. And guys, if you want to learn more about breakout trading like this, the actual rules we use to qualify something as being in a breakout condition, and then looking for those trades, then all of that information is available in the EAP training program. I'll leave a link in the description for that program for any of you interested in that. Let's head back over to the pound Swiss. Okay, so here we are back on the pound Swiss chart. We've already discussed the fact that we had RSI divergence here. Lower high, higher high, higher high, lower high, creating RSI divergence. Something else to point out and notice, what trend is this market currently in? What have we just done? We just broke below a previous support level. And yes, I know guys that we've consolidated up a bit here, but according to my analysis, we were still in a significant downtrend here on the pound Swiss. If you'd like to learn more about the way I read market structure, then we do have a free beginner's technical analysis course that we will send directly to you. All you have to do is sign up for our email list so that we have a place to send you the course. And you can sign up for that email list by heading over to www.thetradingchannel.net. But okay, now we're starting to make a case for entry. We have our initial trend analysis as a downtrend. We have RSI divergence, and something else we waited for is we went down to a smaller time frame, because you'll notice why here in just a second. Let's actually go ahead and go down. Let's go down to a 1 hour chart. So after we have RSI divergence, after we have our trend analysis completed, I actually took this down to a 1 hour chart. And what happened here? Well, at the time that we had RSI divergence, what's wrong with this trade on a 1 hour chart? Well, here on the 1 hour chart, what have we done? We've just put in a move, pushing up to a high, pulling down to a support level, and pushing into a new high. What does this look like? 1, 2, 3. Trend reversal move. It looks like the start of an uptrend. So considering that we have something that looks like the start of an uptrend, although we do have RSI divergence, here on the hourly chart, I was not comfortable placing the trade just based on that RSI divergence. So what I waited on was to see if this market could push down and break below our previous level of support. That's exactly what we got. We got that push down, that break below support, that push back up, and we ended up going ahead and placing our entry after that pullback back up. So there's something else you could possibly look out for when trading using RSI divergence. And guys, again, RSI divergence is not the secret to becoming profitable, but it can be a really nice weapon to add to your trading arsenal. And if you're interested in finding more weapons to add to your trading arsenal, the more advanced weapons that we actually use on a daily basis to trade in the markets, along with, again, learning the rules to some of our most advanced strategies, learning risk management, and how to have discipline in your trades, then we are about to do a complete revamp of the EAP members area and the EAP training course. The new EAP training program will be an actual step-by-step guide for anyone from a beginner in trading who's never even heard of a candlestick to more advanced traders just looking for new strategies and weapons to add to that arsenal. And the EAP is not only a training course, it is a mentor program where you can be in contact with me if you have any questions, where we send out trades that we are taking based on these strategies to help you better understand how to actually use the strategies you learn in the EAP training course, and where we have review videos at the end of each week talking through the email analysis we sent out, talking through us going through drawdowns, talking through our new equity highs, and making you more comfortable with the reality of trading. So if you want to get locked in at the current price for the EAP training program before we release the revamped EAP training course and the price goes up, so if you want to be locked in before that price increase, then just click the link in the description below and it will take you to a page that will tell you all about the EAP training program. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you found it to be valuable to your trading. I hope it was interesting for you. If it was, then be sure you're subscribed here to the trading channel for more videos like this. Be sure you subscribe to our email list to get faster alerts. Click that like button for me before you go, and I'll see you guys in the next video.